Yes. So we all went to college.
Yes.
We both
all
went
here.
we both went to college. What did you get your first degree in?
Finance.
Your first degree in finance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My first degree was in communication. The state of Indiana is planning to cut low-earning degrees from public university.
Yeah.
From public university. Now, finance and communication, I don't know about communication. Maybe that's one of them low-earning degrees. Now,
it depends.
Yeah, it really depends. So they're planning to cut it from public universities and community colleges, and the cutoff is degrees that typically earn an average of under $35,000 basically coming out of school. They're basically cutting all of those programs and saying, it's a wrap. So
it's crazy because even with my finance degree, I started, and I think my starting salary was $30,000.
Damn, doing what?
Yeah,
that's too low.
No, it was for you to start out. That's what I thought. I'm gonna be honest. That's
especially
what
with a finance degree from your school.
That's what St. John's. Shout out Biggie's champion, St. John's.
That's extremely low.
No, but that's how they were giving it up. And then after like 6 months, you get like 15% more.
What did you do? Like, where were you doing?
I was, honestly, my position was like almost like a guinea pig. So they had a cohort.
They were just like starting something out.
Literally.
Okay, that makes sense. That make a lot more sense.
I was a part of like a cohort, and they were like, hey, we need y'all to like grow in these fields.
That makes
and so
sense.
we're going to give you the tools to do it. I had to pass the test. In order to be, at first they wanted me to be a loan officer. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
but you got like commission though.
Right. Well, loan officers do get commission. I didn't end up taking that track.
Well, okay, all right.
But yes, but that's the point. Yes.
Okay, so for example, when I became a loan officer, mm-hmm. that was my first big job out of college. Mm-hmm. My salary was only $28,000, but you don't come to work for the salary,
right?
You come to work for the commission. So
exactly.
Technically, we're not talking about we're talking about the degrees that like that wouldn't fall under this, even though I'm making under $35,000, technically I'm really not, because if I'm a loan officer and I make $35,000 a year, I won't be working there long because they have fired me, because that means I'm not like, they want me to make a bunch of commission.
But here's the thing, in like these starting roles, you need to take tests, so they don't make any money.
Yeah, leading up. Yeah, so I made my first 5 or 6 months, I only made. We didn't even make 30. We didn't even make 35. we made like $12 an hour or something like that during the training.
Gotcha.
And then like you had to pass these tests. You got to
get
get licensed.
You had a cheap one. I made 16.
yeah. So you had to get licensed and all that. And like your first 4 to 6 months, you are making low money. But the goal is for you to.
Yeah.
They do put you in a cohort, and
yes.
So but the goal is for you to make the commission, not the salary.
Well,
the salary is like,
because I wanted to use my degree. I was, I ain't get this loan and do all this stuff for nothing. Yeah. I felt like I wasn't being properly utilized in an LO position. Yeah. So I went to marketing analytics, which I had more. I didn't necessarily do the finances behind it, but I was doing the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you already had the skill set for it.
Exactly. I already had the skill set for it. I had the.
But you was paid more than $35,000 to do that. Right?
Oh yeah. By the time I ended up there, I robbed them.
Yeah. I mean, but yes, so they're. Indiana is planning to cut a bunch of these. I actually like it. I think it will definitely take a little more fleshing out, because, like for example, I went to school for communications, right? Mm-hmm. So one could argue that communications is journalism or like PR or whatever. So you come out, you're not making that much money. But now the skill sets of being a journalist or PR or whatever is worth millions now because of social media,
right?
And digital media and digital marketing. But like, if I was going to, like, when I first the reason I started my own company is because when I got out and graduated, they only offered me $32,000 to go move to Baltimore, in the slums, to work at like the local newspaper. And all I knew about Baltimore was The Wire.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm from
Imagine
the D.
going
I'm not about
from
to. No.
one hood to the next hood.
I'm like, I'm not about to do it.
Crazy.
So that's when I went into finance and banking because I'm like, man,
I need the money.
Yes, the job in journalism, when you getting out of school, you're not making no more than 35, 40,000. You'll be lucky to get a job that's paying you $35,000 or $40,000.
That's good money.
That's good money in journalism coming out, but you might have to go and travel somewhere.
Yeah.
You might have to go to Macon, Georgia, or one of these small town areas to make $40,000 straight out of college as a journalism major.
And they make you do the grunt work.
And you're gonna be working for it. This is not no 40-hour sit at home.
No.
You're gonna be working 50 to 55 hours for that 40 grand.
You are, and you're gonna do all of the hard part. Yes. You're gonna be the writer on the back end, and you're gonna have to give your work to somebody else a lot of the time.
A lot of the times your grunt work is going to go, and the producer or the senior editor is going to get all the media and press and all the praise for the work that you did. You and two of your other colleagues.
It's like it's really a thankless job sometimes, and the way they market it is if you stick to it, you'll benefit from it. The way they market journalism is like, if you stick to this newsroom, if you stick it here, we are going to eventually promote you, eventually give you a name, eventually you might get that. And the thing is, the anchor position is only 2 people generally in that spot.
So Indiana is taking a new approach to higher education, targeting these college programs. It was signed by, the policy is, officially signed by Governor Mike Braun. It passed through their Senate.
And got signed.
Yeah, and got signed. So it's requiring public universities, community colleges to review their programs, which typically earn less than a high school graduate several years after completing their degree. Meaning that the high school graduate, I guess the average is around 35,000. So they're saying if in this field, if the average is still around 35,000, we're either going to cut these programs or we're going to make them merge together. So instead of like having a journalism school, a communication school, a PR school, you're just going to be able, we're shutting down you're just going to school for communication and that's it. Mm-hmm. And you can do whatever you want with journalism or PR, but we're not about to have a PR team, a PR school, or journalism school, a communication school, and like a digital marketing school. We're just going to have one communication school.
Well, that's true because even in finance, finance is very broad. And underneath finance, you can be like a real estate agent. You could work in banking. You could, so that kind of makes sense.
I mean, you can do a lot of finance people going to insurance.
I was gonna say
a lot of finance people going obviously on Wall Street. A lot of finance people go into trading and stock investments and all of that. So
investments and everything like that. I think what's interesting here, I'm interested to see how they parse it out because AI is impacting so many of the jobs.
Yes.
Where it is kind of devaluing almost everybody's degree.
Yeah, a lot of people degrees are being devalued, but I think the only degrees or the only skill that's going to matter in 10 years is the ability to learn and implement new skills. So the people, AI is not going to take your job. Somebody using AI is going to take your job. Because what AI does, it doesn't necessarily save you money, how people want to promote it. What it really does is make you so much more productive. Like we use AI every day in what we do. Right? So it makes us a lot more productive so it's not necessarily saving us money, but it makes our productivity higher, which in turn, if you know how to, as a business owner, if you know how to monetize that in turn can make you more money. But
it's like doing more with less.
Yeah, exactly.
So that means the people who we're talking about journalism. So maybe you had a team of 5, maybe that team goes down to 3.
Exactly. And those 3 people are doing what the team of 5 or 6 used to produce. So it's not like you are doing more, but you're doing more with less and your people are more product, But here's the thing. I would warn people, just make yourself so good at it's called prompt engineering. So basically these ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, you gotta get real good at prompting and leveraging these
These
AI
tools.
tools so that, yes, if you leave, they still got the AI tool, but they don't know how to use it. So it's like, if I give you a car, but you don't know how to drive, the car isn't really the value. The driver is really the value. But now they automating to where it's like,
I was gonna
now
say
the car, they're trying to make the car the valuable person now because they're automating it with Waymo and Tesla
I
and
was
all these
gonna
other
say
cars.
because now you're a liability because you don't have the same type of calculation metrics and everything like that.
Correct. So it's kind of like, it's who is valuable is very iffy. AI is making humans more valuable in certain areas like plumbing or service jobs. Because, like, at the end of the day, if I'm sitting down and me and a chick, we're out grabbing some food at a very fancy restaurant, our first date or our anniversary or whatever, I want a human serving me. I don't want a robot
come give you your
giving
menus.
No, I want somebody to explain the wines and the champagnes, and she's over there ordering, and I'm sitting there acting like I know the champagnes, trying to impress her. Like, I want that human connection.
Yeah.
I don't want a robot. I don't want a robot, bringing me my wine and just sitting it down. Like, I want a human actually coming, explaining to me, recommending, oh, they got some great mac and cheese. They got so that, yes, AI can automate that job.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want it to. I don't want them to automate that job, to be honest.
I mean, I agree with you there, but the companies do what they want to do. Now, what do you think would be the impact of something like this as far as you taking out loans and getting into debt? And
that's a good question. So, I personally, I'm of the mindset that in 10 years, probably 40% of colleges are either going to have to merge or go out of business or do something similar to this, especially HBCUs. A lot of these HBCUs are going out of business. They're so small. They really need to merge. I'm going to be honest. We probably like, we got like 100 and something HBCUs. I don't know the exact number.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Let me see.
Look that up for me. How many HBCUs are still active and open? If we really being honest, if you don't have a brand like Hampton, Howard, FAMU,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you don't have one of those brands, I think Hampton,
107.
It's 107. I think HBCUs, if they want to stay around, Hampton should go around and acquiring a bunch of these smaller campuses. And now you got like a Hampton, which is in Virginia, then you can have a Hampton in Atlanta. You can have a Morehouse in Florida. You can have like up north. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these HBCUs are going to have to stick together, but these PWIs are going to have to start acquiring other schools as well.
But also, I don't know if all education has to be like theoretical education. Like, why can't they just transition? To your point, yes, Hampton, South or something like that.
Right, the South Campus,
the South
that's
Campus
down in Florida.
But what if Hampton South is like agriculture or just music studios?
Yes.
Or just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you in Hollywood,
yes,
you might want to focus on the arts.
I was gonna say being able to diversify in that way, because to your point, AI is not going to take away your plumbing position.
The only thing keeping people in a lot of these schools in business is their brands.
Right. FAMU Tech, something like that.
That's the only reason. That's the only thing that's keeping a lot of these companies or PWIs or these universities is their brand. So it's like people want to go to Howard because Howard has that brand and that network.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, like if AI makes it irrelevant for you to go to Howard and take out $200,000 in loans, I don't see a lot of people continuing to do that.
Well, also, I think that college needs to be free. Like the idea that if you get accepted into a program and you have demonstrated the ability to potentially be successful here, I don't see why the government cannot subsidize education and where
Massachusetts
other countries
is cutting a lot of their colleges to 3 years.
So
they're cutting out a lot of
if you could squeeze all the credits in.
Yeah, that makes it more affordable for families, and that also cuts out some of the nonsense that you got to do in order to get a degree. Why do I need to do 2 years of general ed? If I'm going to school, why do I have to take biology? Like, I'm not going, like that was the worst. Like, I got a D in biology in college. If I didn't have that D, I have I would have graduated with like a 3.8. But because I got that D, that brought
yeah,
me down a lot.
pre-cal for me.
You see what I'm saying? It's like
I'm sorry, calculus.
The only reason I passed because I was going to retake it and all that, but my teacher was extremely cool and she was like, "Mr. Hill, what are you going to school for?" So I was like, I want to be an entrepreneur, start my own business, but like I really want to be on TV. I really want to be in media. I really want to be in that. So I'm going to school for communication and journalism. So, and she was like, "You're not going to be operating on nobody. You good. Like you're not going into the medical field."
Yeah.
She in her conscience, she wouldn't feel good about herself passing me on or even giving me a D to pass.
Yeah.
If I was trying to become a nurse, if I was trying to become a pediatrician, something like it's like, okay, bro, you really need to know biology. But like, I'm in media, bro. I don't need to know that.
I agree. Is the idea that you need to have your core, what is it called?
Yeah,
like
prereq, general ed.
Yes. Like, why do you have to do that? My friend was literally taking dancing classes.
Yeah.
For psychology. So that's
yeah, it don't make no sense at all. But,
take all those electives out.
I think a lot more schools or more states need to go down this route of Indiana cutting a lot of those programs, or like a Massachusetts cutting just all programs and say 3 years, we're going to take out of the fluff. Now you can come borrow money to go to school, but you're only going to be borrowing for 3 years instead of 4, which allows it to be a lot more affordable for families. And it's not that much of a risk because now you get a year of actual work back. Because that's another thing about college is if you go to college, you also are not working full time. So you lose out on that opportunity cost of the money that you could have made being in the field.
Now, does it matter that most people graduate at 22? Like, I also think the argument is too, like, are these people mature enough to go out into the world now at 21 and get their first big girl, big boy job? Mind you, they just started drinking that year.
I mean, I would say yeah, because I mean, or maybe they just do a year internship. Or
I was thinking something like
some
that too.
type of like the program you was doing, like a
cohort type of
something to get their resume, to beef their resume up.
That's what I was gonna say. There needs to be some type of like red shirt. You know how some basketball players are red shirted. There needs to be some type of program like that. The only thing is, and I'm not saying that there aren't students who are younger who get out of school and are able to be like these fortified adults.
Yeah.
But I'm suspicious that there will be quite a few that are, I mean, even graduating at 22, there were a few people who was like, honestly, I'm not mature enough. I'm just go to grad school right away.
Well, yes, a lot of people are going to run.
I knew people like that who was like, I'm not ready, and I'm not even going to play myself like I'm ready to be out there.
Yes, but what I think should happen is there should be a partnership with these corporations or government entities or nonprofits or whatever that employs people that want to get these college educated kids. So instead of you doing 4 years of school, you do 3, you get your degree, and then you do a year of like, internship or work study or some type of transition to get you
transitional period.
Yes, so it's like, not only am I not charging you tuition for a year, I'm also paying you for the year to transition into the workforce. So if you go to school for communications, for example, like I did, instead of me just jumping out there and being like a deer in the headlight, now they're actually saying, okay, you're going to go. I don't necessarily have a choice. A part of your degree is going to work at this newspaper in Baltimore for $35,000, and now I'm not looking at the $35,000 as like what's going on. Yeah. I'm looking at it as, I get to make money now because before I would be paying $35,000 to go to school.
Right. So now really you're making for
really there's a $70,000 swing there, and I'm actually getting mentored into a field that I went to school for. So I think that would make a lot more sense, but now we're asking the schools to actually do their job of getting you a good job, and I don't know,
making sure that you're well equipped to.
Thank you guys for watching. In order to continue to support independent journalism, I need you to subscribe to our page below, and also if you want the full podcast and more exclusive content, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description.